What's up, gamers? Who's ready for the 6th season of God of Games? This season, we'll have 25 contestants trying to figure out if they have friends or if they have foes. Now, before we get started, let me just go ahead and introduce our fellow podcasters for this season. For this season, our production team has grown, and we have a couple of familiar faces, but a couple of new faces. So first and foremost, the man who's recording the podcast, Ethan.
Hello, I'm replacing somebody's job. Yay.
Second up, we have the second longest tenured person. He is the winner of Season 3, Pixie Pizza.
Hey, yeah. You guys know me. I've been here on production for a while. Nothing more to really say.
Also, hold up, I didn't get a winner introduction. Where was my winner introduction?
Everyone forgot you won because you haven't played in like
Okay.
3 years.
Okay.
Not
Should we restart? Should we
No,
restart
we're
or
not
something?
I don't-
No.
Oh no, this is going on. Like, this is not being edited at all. Like, anyway,
No cuts, one take.
one take challenge.
Ethan sucks. Ethan sucks.
Agreed. Moving on, our fourth guest we have on the podcast. He is the winner of Season 1 and Season 5. One of our first two-time winners. Please give it up for Vanilla, otherwise known as Brody.
Hey.
Next up, we have someone else joining our podcast for the first time and joining the production team for the first time. He made his debut in Season 2, winning on his first season, going on to play Season 3, 4, and winning 5 as well, being another first two-time winner. Please get up for Triplet.
Hello. I'm glad to be here.
And finally, one of the greatest to ever grace God of Games, one of the sweatiest game bots, the first person to ever win an individual season of God of Games. He is a 3-time finalist. Please give it up for Patrick Nova Maximus.
Hey everyone, glad you're here and not in the season terrorizing y'all, I assume.
I mean, I keep my podcasts full of winners, and to everyone listening, just be happy. Although there is someone that used to be on production, you might recognize, well, 2 people, but you might recognize in the game, so we'll get to that in just a second. But first of all, we're just going to go down, read through each person, and give a little thoughts and insight on how we're going to do. Like always, I do preseason power rankings on certain people. I really didn't put much time into it this time because there's a lot of rookies and stuff, but we're just going to send it, and, if my predictions are wrong, they're wrong. They were pretty on point last time, but we'll see. So first and foremost, our first rookie, I have him actually ranked dead last at 25 out of 25. His Roblox username is Adam Kindle Fire 34. So I know you're all sitting on this podcast like, who the hell is that? And honestly, so am I. Adam, the one thing I will say about Adam is he's a persistent person. I feel like a lot of people leave our server because I don't do like audience type things during the season. But Adam was one of the people that actually did apply for last season as a rookie, I believe, if not Season 4, but he did not get chosen. So when I recognized the name, I was like, okay, this is someone that like obviously applied more than once. I have no like info on this person. And I think the main reason they got declined last time was because of availability. But yeah, I don't really know anything about Adam. I really hope he can make his mark because I love when rookies step up to the plate. But I mean, yeah, does anyone else want to take a chance on the Adam Kindle Fire?
I love his username. We love Amazon Kindle. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, with like a lot of these people, I'm not really that integrated into the Roblox community anymore, so it's not like I know a lot of these people, Adam being one of them, but I mean, if he's been trying to apply for multiple seasons, I mean, I will. Hopefully he'll do fine. I mean, if he is this wild card that nobody knows, then I think he has potential to put something like a new spin on the season and the expected dynamics that we're probably going to talk about. later on, or at least hopefully he'll do something like that.
Mhm.
It takes it's gonna go one of two very different ways. Either he's gonna get out really early because everyone likes saying the name of someone they don't really know, or he ends up making it far as kind of a new breath of fresh air that we haven't seen much before, which would hopefully be pretty cool.
All right, we're gonna move on to number 2. Coincidentally, the person who I ranked 20. Oh, I'm just looking at this list. This is kind of bad. The person I ranked number 24 out of 25 on the power rankings. I am Royalty 6. They go by Logan. I will say, I don't really know this person. Like I said, that pool wasn't really that big, so most of the things I didn't really read about because I knew like most of the people that applied as rookies would just get on. But the one thing I will say about Logan is I believe like Caleb told him to apply. So there's definitely a relationship there, which I don't think anybody really is going to know that unless they mention it. But I think that's going to be a really good ace up Caleb's sleeve, having a number like that. But I don't know this person at all, so I have no idea of their skill or connections with anyone. But aside from the one I just listed, I kind of like you said with Adam, I think they could go one of two ways, but I do hope they succeed because we love fresh blood here. Anyone have anything to say?
Yeah, I mean, having someone like Caleb to kind of help you is obviously always going to be a big thing. I don't think anyone can deny what Caleb has done, and I think with the social connections, Caleb's just going to be able to like plop them in, just be like, hey, they're cool, and then other people with Caleb will be like, okay, they're cool, and then I'm cool with them, which is pretty good to say at the very least. Like that's going to be just solid to have.
Yeah, I think having that sort of connection is going to do them favors. I guess my biggest concern then is this just going to be like a complete Caleb sheep and they're not going to have their own identity in the game at all? Or are they going to trail their own path a bit? But yeah, I guess that's just my biggest worry is that, okay, it's just going to be a Caleb number and they aren't going to find their own identity in the game. But hopefully I'm wrong about that.
I would absolutely love if they had their own separate relationship with Caleb, but branched out and made their own connections and became such a social threat in the game. I think that would be really cool to see. So I'm hoping that for our rookies that they integrate themselves really well.
All right. So moving on to our third person, ironically, we have them ranked 23 out of 25. So it seems like we're just going down the list, but I promise it's not how it is. Their new username is She Is by Sheen. I don't know if I pronounced that right at all, but their old username used to be Everythings. I know they're popular in the somewhat of the challenge Roblox type games, so it's no surprise that they would want to play like a challenge. Roblox long term, obviously, Dota games is really different. I would say I really forget how they performed, but I know they're a pretty not loud personality, but like they're not gonna not get into fights type of. So the reason I rank them this low is one because I really don't know too much about them, but also I do think they could have some random connections that nobody really saw coming. But I just, like I said, rookies typically just get ranked lower because unless I know them outside the game, that's just how it is. But,
What I have to say about them is, yes, they are really known in the challenge community. Reputation-wise, a lot of people see him as a threat, so it's either going to backfire or he's actually going to work with the people that a lot of people don't know, and he's also known to target the strong people. So I personally can see Avery going really far in this game.
Yeah, I have same thing. I have high amount of faith in them to go far. I've known what they've done throughout so many seasons of doing the challenge with them, fancy media, just the challenge Roblox stuff in general. We've known each other for a very long time, and she will definitely go this season. There's just no denying that. That ranking is a gross low ranking for her.
I agree. I feel like I remember every playing the challenge, short-term games, whatever. And I feel like they were a force to be reckoned with. Maybe I'm mistaken. It's been so long. Were they in CNR? I feel like maybe I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's yes.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Then I think they're ranked really low, and I get no one doesn't really know who they are. Maybe I don't know, but I agree. I think they're gonna prove this ranking wrong.
I think regardless, they're probably going to be making waves, whether it's being like a big fight early on and getting targeted or overthrowing like the big names of the series.
Mhm.
Yeah. Moving on is someone named Munchies EXO. I think they previously went by IOKAJ on Roblox. I had them ranked at number 20 out of 25. I think if Brody was on the cast, their ranking would go up immensely, but I don't know how well AJ knows these people, and just from I don't know, Brody, what do you have to say about your good friend?
He's kind of like he hasn't played a lot of games in a while, so he is kind of detached from everyone else. I don't think he knows many people. But he's very social, but he's also very like dramatic. So if anyone targets him, I guarantee you he's gonna start a fight. But he's decent in Roblox challenges, so I think it just depends on how social he is.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm not sure if it's who I'm thinking of because I feel like I know an AJ. The
This is-
username, or it might be someone else. I'm not sure.
There was
This
an
is AJF.
AJF.
Is this
100.
Well, there
AJ
are two
Flora?
AJs
Yes,
on
this
this
is AJ
cast.
Flora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
Flora.
there is two AJs. Spoiler alert, but I'd have to double check because I have a really funny. If it's one of them that I think it is, then I'm just not gonna say it right now because I don't think I fully know the username, but I can double check.
I mean, I never was particularly close to AJ, but AJ's a name that I do recognize, and I think he does have potential, but he does need to be careful about the drama that he might start. Because yeah, I do remember that he's not the type to just keep quiet.
Definitely not. Very outspoken. I think as soon as somebody makes a move against him, he'll be the first person to like put it on blast in front of the entire house. But I also think in that same token, he's that person to make moves against people, like against the bigger players. And I think I'm excited to kind of see how that transpires.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to play more on the social side of the game. Assuming to what Brody said, he doesn't play that many games. So I feel like he's going to make lots of connections and maybe be like a social threat in this game.
Valid, valid. Now we're moving on to the next person. As you all know, after the letter F comes G, so we're moving on to AJG, otherwise known as Grixon. To put it simply, AJ is a little shit. That's all there is to it. I'm friends with AJ
Nice.
somewhat. We have a very weird relationship where we've played multiple games together and we've either worked together or we haven't. I played Anarchy's rigged ass game with them, with CJ as well, and I know CJ and them are going to be best friends. And I believe Adore, I could see falling into that group. And I think, you look at these seasons, and you look at like the groups that form, like the Lavender Ladies and stuff, and they always kind of like they're around for a few rounds before they kind of tank and get picked off. and I say this like every season, but this is the one time where I think like legitimately, depending on how much work they all put in, this could be the season where they could take over. I think from a numbers point of view, if they don't isolate people as much, then it could definitely be a Lavender Ladies takeover. And there's so many people in that group I feel like we're going to get to talk about. But AJG, specifically Grixon, he's pretty good at Roblox comps. I've seen him do a lot. And, I think CJ's kind of like, he's his own personality, but I think with CJ playing, he's going to fill him in like on a bunch of relationships and things that he knows about the veterans that CJ's played with for 3 seasons. So I have decent hopes for them. I ended up putting them at 13 out of 25, right in the middle, just because I think rookie-wise, they're one of the more well-connected people, but their mouth could get them into trouble.
Is it just me, or I just hope like both AJs just like work together?
That would be funny.
Or one of them goes
AJ.
Or one of them
early
goes
so that
early,
we
so we
can
don't. Yeah.
just, like, so we don't have to differentiate between the AJs every single time.
Literally.
Sorry, I don't know the AJs, but I am definitely Team AJ this season for real.
AJ squared.
Love you guys.
Let's have a 4-person alliance between AJ, Mike, and Mikey.
Oh,
That one's easy.
T.
You
God's
guys.
nightmare.
Oh my
Shout out to
God.
Pixie for making all the group chats, the one-on-one chats with all these people that have similar names.
Yeah. I hope they're all back-to-back boots.
How many times do you think someone's going to accidentally message the wrong AJ or Mike?
I mean, if they do, that's their fault.
Yeah. Attention to detail.
Yeah,
That
pay
part.
attention.
Well, all right. Let's hope they do well. I'm sure there'll be a fireball. Moving on, we have someone I think a lot of us know outside of this game. There's someone who I really wanted to see play. I don't think that they're the best physical competitor. They'll even admit they're a little old and washed up. But I did put your boy DJ Ellsworth I put him at 21 out of 25. And that's not because I don't think he can do well, but I don't know how much he's going to actually work he's going to put into this game. I think he has like solid connections with people like Josh. I could see him working with people like either like a Ryan or bonding pretty easily with like a good amount of these people on this list. He knows from like playing Surshak's game, but at the same time, I just don't want him to be discouraged because once he's like discouraged in something, he just like is total like fuck this game or like over it and stuff. But I want to see him do well. So
Yeah, as one of like DJ's friends, I would like to see him well, but I mean, don't hate me, DJ. I don't have the highest expectations for him in this game. I don't think he's the strongest like physical competitor. And also I'm worried he's just gonna like latch on to Josh and not really expand his horizons in the game. So I'm praying that you prove me wrong, DJ, and didn't just like become a number and nothing else. But yeah, that's my biggest worry right now.
Well, you know what's interesting because I'm also friends
yeah,
with
you can go.
DJ. Sorry, I'm also friends with DJ, and I do agree that like I do think he'll latch on to Josh and to the people, the very few people that he knows, but I do think he's going to at least try to talk to people. Like he's the type of person where he will at least reach out to somebody to try and start a conversation. Now, whether that is reciprocated, I don't know, but I think he'll at least try it initially. But yeah, I do agree with Nolan. And this is not a drag. It's just like if he's over it, he's over it, and I respect that. So we'll see. We'll see what
Yeah,
he does. We'll see what he does.
For me, I feel like if DJ actually puts like the effort, because he has like an amazing personality, like if you actually get to talk to him. So I feel like I said, if he puts in the effort and makes connections, I can see him actually going more than halfway of this game.
Mm-hmm.
But to piggyback off of you guys, I hope he doesn't just stick with Josh. I hope he like branches out and talks to like the fellow rookies or other players that like he actually doesn't know. But I can see him making it far. Do I see him winning? I don't know.
Dare I say, I think he reminds me a lot of Jacob, like how Jacob plays the game. I'll say that. I don't know
Yeah.
if y'all know.
I can see that.
All right, moving on. We have someone I've been probably trying to get since like around the first or second season, and I finally convinced him to play. I deserve it, to be honest. After Neff and I ended up winning their game and never returning. Um, this is someone that plays a shit ton of challenge games or hosts his own, and he's very well known in like the challenge community. It is iMaximan, otherwise known as Izzy, and I have him ranked as the highest rookie on this season for a couple of reasons. I have him ranked at number 8 out of 25, and most of it is because he is someone that I think you look at this cast, he has a decent amount of connections to where like he's able to socialize. Like I don't think he's like weird in that regard. Like he's hosted so many challenge games, he's played so many, and then he has like people like Otto, who's definitely going to be close with. I think more than anyone, I would assume. But like with Otto comes like Otto's
Marks.
connections, and he has a
Marks
bunch.
as well.
Yeah, Marks. Oh yeah, Marks as well. I forget
Yeah.
he's at the. Yeah, so there's an endless amount of like potential there, and also he's hosted like his own challenge, the Amazing Race type Roblox short term things, kind of like Data Games. So he's played a bunch of different random stuff. So I think this is a great thing for him. I don't think he's going to be necessarily looked at as a target out of really anybody, but I also don't think he's going to be voted in because people don't talk to him. So maybe 8 is even too low for him, but I'm really excited that he finally played signed up because I think Izzy can do well.
hmm I love Izzy. I have played many a games with them in the past. They're a really good competitor. I think when it comes to Roblox, they're definitely in like probably I would personally say like top 6 or 7 people in this cast. Um, maybe, and that might be saying too many. I think they're very good. It is just gonna come down to kind of like DJ for me a little bit. Is he going to latch on to his connections, or is he going to make his own, pave his own path? And I think if he does the latter, and still utilizes the connections he's already coming in with, I really do think we could see him in the finale, given if he doesn't get screwed by the format.
I
I agree with you guys. I haven't played with a game with Izzy in a while, but what I do remember is that Izzy is a gamer. I remember losing to so many finals to this person. And um, I just feel like once he like gets the understanding of the format, I feel like he could take over the game.
Yeah, despite being a rookie, I don't think many people are going to be like, "Oh, they're a rookie, so they're like an easy name to throw out." Like, unlike a lot of these rookies that might experience that. I feel like Izzy definitely has enough name recognition to avoid that early targeting, and it sounds like they have the physical chops to back that up as well. So I think that they probably are going to do the best out of all the rookies.
Yeah, high hopes for Izzy. Moving on, we have someone that was actually a replacement when a veteran went MIA for no reason. We have Adora Hill.
Legend.
This is someone I tried to convince to play, and then they forgot to like apply in time. I'm currently in a long term, actually right now, with Adore, someone we're about to get to, and AJG. So that's how I got part of the cast. Whoops, but I feel really good about Adore. I think physically, they could be the strongest rookie here. I think it's close between a couple people, but also I know like Tours does a bunch of Roblox long terms. They've been in the community for a while. They've done a bunch of challenge games I've played with. I know they're good. Obviously, Gacha Games is a bit different, to where it's it's Roblox. There's so many different types of categories of games. But I also feel like I said with a couple other people, I think coming in, they're going to have quite a few people they could work with off the bat. So I'm not worried about them at all. And I think they could very well surprise us. And I wouldn't even be surprised, honestly. That's why I put them at number 9 out of 25, right behind Izzy. I think they could easily slide in with people. And unless they get really loud and stuff and they put in a little bit of social work, I really do think the other side, this is their season to take over unless they start flopping like every comp. But even then, with the grenades and stuff, I think they have a strong chance. But I think Adore could probably make the final, but they could also not do as well, just depending on how well they communicate with the other people in the game.
This is, in my opinion, the biggest get you're going to get for a rookie. I mean, I think Adore rivals people like, call me crazy, like Josh, as physically very, very good. As long as they don't get screwed by like a really chancy elimination, I think Adore is gonna excel a lot in this game.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it just
I
comes.
mean,
I think comes
you
down,
go ahead. You go ahead. Yeah.
I think it comes down to like how much effort they put into this game. Because I mean, I hope it's not just like, okay, no one's trying to get me to apply for this game. Like, fine, I'll entertain them, and then doesn't put the effort in. Because I feel like if Adore does put the effort into this, they could be a massive threat this season. But yeah, so that's my one reservation. But I hope that Adore actually does put the full effort in, because I can see them being a massive threat here.
I feel like Adore is gonna be another like comp beast, like Charlie, Alex, like all those other big players. And the only thing I'm worried about Adore is that people are going to treat him like a lot of people treated Alex, where he would just constantly go in until he got taken out.
I could see that, but I feel like Alex has like no social game ever, so
Yeah, but Alex
Like
is a
Dragon.
social game. They're built different. Yeah, Adore. I'm always a big fan of Adore. I'm super happy that they got on the cast over someone who decided not to reply. So that's a big win for this season overall. I'm very happy to see Adore here. I definitely think they can make it far. Pretty much same things. Not too much to really add. I could see them going against a lot of the OG like staples we have here. I don't think Adore is really the type to work with them. That's like if Adore puts in the work, of course. So I hope so, hopefully.
all right. Moving on to our last and 9th and final rookie for this season, we have Mischievously Mike. No, I did not say Mercenary Mikey. I said Mischievously Mike. Mike is the final person in this game that I'm currently playing that I've been like picking people from and trying to get to apply to my game. We had a pretty extensive conversation about like the challenge and stuff. So he definitely has some background knowledge there, which I appreciate, because I mean, you don't have to watch the show to do good at this game, but like I feel like people that like the challenge are more passionate. So I ended up putting them at number 12 out of 25, which is, aside from Adore and Izzy, the 3rd highest rookie. And the reason I did that is because, honestly, I've only done like one full cycle in this game with them. And it's a Big Brother game, but my thought process is like they talk so much to people, and they're such a social person. So like if they just put in some of that effort into this game, I feel like they could easily kind of like coast by. You see like a lot of people like that really aren't in really any alliances, like in some Gacha game seasons, that are just able to like kind of slide by to like at least the halfway point of the season. And so if he has a little bit of social effort, unless he gets like a bad partner or something, like the wheel sends him in, then I think he could do well and be a shocking, like, good rookie choice for the season. But like I said, I don't really know much about him, as I'm assuming like you guys don't either, because we're all like old and not really in the community that much.
Yeah, again, I don't know who this is. Maybe we've crossed paths. I really don't know. But I think my question to y'all is, do you pronounce it mischievous or mischievous?
I mean, do you say it a normal way or
No, I think
I'm
both
trying
ways
to be
are
a
right.
nerd emoji way?
I believe like the technically correct way to say it is mischievous, but who actually
That's
says
also
it
like
like
the nerd.
that?
Yeah,
So then, so
who
then,
says it like
is
that?
it
You're a nerd.
so then is it mischievously Mike? Like, I just don't know.
Stop. Mischievously. I don't know. Neither of them sound right to me anymore.
That's all I have to add.
Maybe you should just change his username. That's what I'm hearing.
It's just gonna be Mike. Just change it
Just
to Mike.
Mike. Just Mike.
Mike.
No, but I mean, I look, I'm rooting for any of the rookies that play in your series. It sucks when like the rookies go out super early and then never return, because you want them to have a good time enough to like, I guess crave that win in a future season if they don't get it in their rookie season. So I don't know, rooting for him, rooting for all the rookies, and yeah, we'll see how he does.
All right. Moving on. We're done with the rookies, and now we get into the juicy part. We have 16 veterans here, all looking to get their shot to make a little dough, add to their player stats, and get some more money. First of all, we have someone that was on production for, I believe, I want to say like 2, 3 seasons. I'd have to go back and look, but we have Ryan Sharpie XO returning to the cast. And honestly, I'm really excited because Ryan is like one of the last people left that like there's not many people left that have played multiple seasons that have never he's never even gone in, but much less even like gone and like been eliminated. So he's someone that he's a menace to play with socially. He's like so good when he tries and he puts in this effort. And for all these reasons above, I have him ranked as number 1 out of 25. Do I think he's like the strongest physically? No, but with how the partners work and stuff, there's gonna be so few scenarios where I see him like weighing someone down with a partner that like the only way I really see him not like making it to the finals if he gets screwed with someone, and that's like bound to happen because only 5 of these 25 people are gonna make it to the final. That's crazy. But at the same time, I think socially, like if he's going to be able to keep his name off the wheel and out of the winning team's mouth, and that's going to help him. Like I think, if him, Josh, Caleb, and that side kind of work together as like an opposition to like the friend group that's in this game, then like I still think that like at least Josh, for example, would always get targeted before Ryan, and while that's happening, he'll be able to like try to make other relationships to get himself out of drama. But I have really high expectations for him.
Yeah, as somebody who's gotten carried by Sharpie's social game before, like I recognize how much of a menace he can be, especially with like how much he can like, get away with his conniving. He's definitely no slouch when it comes to physicality either, but not enough that he's going to be like an actual target in this game outright. So I think you have a spot on. I think that Sharpie's going to be a massive threat in this game, and I don't think people are going to really see that at the start.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
For me with Sharpie, I met Sharpie on Serves. I was his partner for his very first long term. From what I've known from his gameplay is yes, he is extremely, extremely social, but my thing that I worry about him is I think he's going to make way too many connections, um and I hope he doesn't get exposed for being on, like, for making too many connections to where, like, he doesn't really have any number ones. I do think that he's going to be Team Josh for sure, but I feel like a lot of people are going to recognize that he's talking to everybody, and I do see him being targeted. I also think that he will be going into his first elimination ever this season. But I
I
do hope he wins. I love Sharpie.
yeah, I think it's a pretty it goes for everybody. I think everybody has a great chance of going into an elimination this season. And if he goes into his first, I mean, obviously I hope he does well. I'm always going to root for Ryan. That's my season 1 winner buddy, along with Brody, period. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Patrick. Oh wait, you got second. Never mind. Um, that's really
Yeah,
shady. I didn't mean that to be shady. It came out
Fuck
really
the
shady.
casino island.
It got really shady all of a sudden. But no, but seriously, I agree with Trip. I think that he's eventually going to get caught talking to a lot of people. But usually what happens with Ryan is that happens around the halfway point or like the 3/4 point, and at that point
Mhm.
he has his physical game that he can back it up with. Now, will he get screwed over by being put with a duo that is weak, that he loses
Yeah.
within the elimination? Maybe, I don't know, but on paper I think number 1 is a fitting spot for Ryan. I do.
Yeah, I feel like even if he gets caught, though, there's always like bigger priorities than Sharpie for like the other side to target, unless like Josh flops early on.
Hmm.
He's always going to be like a bigger target than Sharpie, no matter how much like conniving Sharpie does.
Oh, 100%. And that we saw like season 1, I feel like, the alliance with like you three and Josh and Epic to an extent, like kind of ran the first season. And then season 2, he came in without like Ethan, and he still proved he could run the season. He was running things on pretty much all team. There was only one moment where he was kind of in danger when he got nominated, and then he didn't actually end up going in. He ended up getting he basically like snuffed the rebellion and took out Tanner. And I remember Brody was like, Brody, you were going like hella for those hardcore for those life shields at the end because you knew that like you were
Yeah,
kind of on the bottom of that red team.
His chokehold of like every single person in that cast was crazy. Like I made one move against him like episode 4, and I spent the entire season like begging him to keep me safe.
A menace.
Dang.
Yeah, I completely sheeped him the second season. I do not deny that, but I mean, it got me to the end.
Period, Ryan. Period.
Shout out to the Red Rockets, greatest team name.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Anyway, the flop finalists that couldn't win a final. Moving on, we have Jash to Jash, former production member. Wow, I didn't. I'm kind of like shocked he's playing again, but also like I knew he'd come back. I could convince him. But then, like, once I had this format locked in, I realized, I was like, are you sure you want to play this one? I'm like, are you sure? Because, like, this is going to be the hardest time ever for Josh. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, Josh needs to be on his best fucking behavior. He needs to suck all the toes if he
Ew.
wants to make it far in this season.
What the
Because at the end of the day, like, you look at this cast and he hasn't been on a season with a bunch of these people, like, in a while, at least. But, like, as soon as they see him, it's going to be like, oh, he needs to go. If one of us want to win this game, he needs to go. And so, I do think he will provide a little bit of protection for the people ahead of him. But all it takes is, like, one bad partner, and he's done. And, like, he's good at a lot of things, but, like, like, if he gets a bad partner, people are going to smell blood in the water, and they're going to go for him. And because of all these reasons, this is the lowest I've ever had him ranked, and it's not even that low. But I ended up putting him in number 7 because the road for him to get the final is going to be so hard, especially with grenades where you can pair 2 people together. Like, if people it really comes down to it, I could see people, using a grenade on Josh, putting him with like one of the weakest people left, and like trying to get him out.
I think especially with the grenades that you have planned, one of them being you can choose up a partnership for the next round, like automatically. I think that is a situation where we could see Josh really struggle. And look, he could still get lucky in the draw and not even go into elimination, but will the winners put him in is the question. And I think I could see it. I could see it.
Yeah, I definitely think this format is not doing Josh any favors. And especially with like, I feel like a lot of the people who would be working with him in a game like this are sitting here on production and are
Waves.
So
not
true,
in the
so
game.
true.
And so he's looking at a lot of not regular allies around him. And yeah, I think he's going to struggle. I think he's going to put up a hell of a fight, regardless of what goes on in the season. But it's not looking great for Josh.
I mean, to be honest, I think he's shown that he can carry a partner through a game before. I think we saw that in season 3.
Mhm.
That was pretty much a one-man team, and he still got to the finale. So, I feel like no, I don't think anyone on that cast is. I even forget his name. Holy shit! But I don't think anyone on this cast is as bad as his partner on season 3. So I think any partner he has,
Bro, Joseph's not even that bad.
bro, he tanked that finale.
But
He's the reason.
but they still won like a couple of dailies. Like, they're not like Joseph's
Yeah,
really not. I don't think he's that
Josh.
bad. Yeah, but there's worse people.
I don't know. I feel like overall this cast is pretty capable. I think he's gonna be able to work with whoever he gets. I think he can do a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, it
That's my
depends
take.
on like the round though. Some of these games you can be a one-man show and like
Yeah.
still pull out a win, but
Mhm.
some of them you really need your partner to be at least a functional human being or else you're screwed.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
My thing
And-
with Josh is, yeah, a lot of people are going to be looking out, like waiting for that moment to take him out. But as for him making moves, just from like experience, he does play a little scared. Like, no shade, but he does play a little scared. But I just hope like he is able to take out all the people that are like equally as good as him, because there's a lot of heavy hitters in this cast.
Mm-hmm. No, there definitely are. And I mean, I'm sure you can tell us, Nolan, but is the final individual, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
If he makes it, he'll win. I have no doubt about that.
yeah, he's
But do I
definitely
think he'll
in
make it?
contention. Well, that's the
I
thing.
do think he's gonna have, if he does make the final, he will have the hardest journey to get to that final.
This is going to be this is just looking at this cast, this is the hardest cast he's ever played with when it comes to connections, when it comes to physicality, when it comes to a lot of things. So this is going to be a huge uphill battle for him. And it's going to be refreshing to watch because I enjoy seeing somebody who is like usually in a pretty good position, face
Mhm.
adversity, I guess. So I will be curious to see how he does.
I'm excited. I hope he does make it far.
Me too.
Yeah, I think he will bring drama, whether that's from just him existing or not, we'll see, but
Yeah, I have high expectations for him, but I could also see him burning out. But regardless, it's going to be entertaining to see how he plays this game. Moving on, we have our last winner on this cast. Ironically, I think this might tie the record for like least amount of winners on a season. if not, I don't know how many season 3 had, but like, there's only 3 winners on this season. I mean, I snatched up most of y'all, and you're here with me now hosting this podcast. But, you know, the thing I loved about Otto was he played season 1, fell off the face of the planet, came back, was eliminated because of a twist of someone like basically quitting the game. We figured, like, we'll just send you to the losing team. At the time, felt like a fair thing. Maybe in hindsight, I should have got rid of one of the double eliminations. But Otto made the most of his second chance, and he got put on my team with the Fall Falcons, and that was a strong team. Triplet, you obviously ended up switching over with Zach at the last point, right? Like, am I misremembering things? Yeah. So that was
the most
huge.
Dysfunctional team.
No, but you guys, yeah, I think once you 3 were there, I was like, oh, they're winning the final. Like, and I was happy that Otto got his win because he played once and then never came back after me like asking him all these times. And now he's already coming back again. It just makes me feel like happy that we have someone that's he's like a vet, but he doesn't feel like I'm overexposed. We're like overexposed to him. He has a couple more connections with Izzy entering the game. I think he'll work with. In addition, like, outside of like most of these people here, I don't think like on the other side, if people are targeting those people, he's going to be the first one that they ever look at. So I think Otto's in a really decent spot in this game, and he can physically compete. Like I said, most of these people just comes down to who they're partnered with, and I have Otto ranked at number 3 out of 25 actually, because I just think I just have faith in him. I don't know why. He was a Fall Falcon. I was a Fall Falcon. You understand?
We get it.
Yes, Otto really is a social person. Like last season, he kept getting saved. Like he had all these connections. I feel like this season there is a lot of people that are huge that everybody's gunning for. I feel like Otto is going to be hiding in the background and being potentially like a floater. And once he feels like his ass is on the line, I feel like he could step up and win some challenges to keep him safe. But as of like the beginning part of the game, I see him just staying under the radar.
I find it interesting because when it comes to like threat level / physicality for God of Games, I feel like there's like levels to it. Like there's like the Jash level, and I would put like Adore up there. I would put maybe Alex up there. You know what I mean? Like there's that top that cream of the crop, for a lack of a better term. And then below that, I think is another level, and I think Otto's in that. And what I think Otto does really well is that while he's very good, he doesn't like when you think of him, like for whatever reason, I don't see him as a threat, and I know I should. And I think that really works to his advantage when he plays these games, and I think it'll work to his advantage here. And I do think that I think he's gonna do really well. So I'm excited to see him return after being a winner. Maybe he'll be the first 2-time winner. Dun dun dun.
The first.
Not the first time. Not the first 2-time winner. Sorry.
Did you win?
There's multiple.
It was Triplet and Vanilla.
That's
we already have
awkward.
2.
That's how much you know I didn't watch last season. But okay, the third
so
time.
awkward.
That's really awkward. That's really awkward.
I think out of all the winners on the season, Otto definitely has like the lowest threat level.
I agree.
And people are not going to see Otto coming. Like,
yeah. I feel like he's very underrated.
So yeah,
Like,
I think
don't
he
underestimate
can
him.
do damage, but we'll see.
I think he has
All right.
connections, which is crucial. I'll say that. He has connections to people coming in that I think will really work to his advantage. And the people he's connected to are also well connected and good physically. So I think he's in a pretty good spot coming in. I'll end with that.
No, of course. I think I'm excited to see how the 3 winners do on this season, and part of me roots for them, but I also want a new winner. So, I mean, there's a 22 and 25 chance, but yeah. Moving on, we have someone that was sitting out of season 5. However, they did play seasons 1 through 4 without making a single final. This is not mischievously Mike. This is mercenary Mikey. I have them ranked at number 11 out of 25. I don't think Mikey's ever like people's first targets. I think sometimes like how he holds himself and handles himself in the game can sometimes put a target on his back. I will say I did like his game last time he played when you won, Patrick. I think he just kind of fell in the minority alliance in that time, and he went out to his best friend Alex, who is someone he's obviously going to be connected to and have their back 100%. Season 1, he got slayed by Patrick. Season 2, he got slayed by someone else really good. I can't remember who it was, but But he always like goes.
Asha?
Probably, I don't know it. But the point is that he always like he's capable. I think honestly, like his elim record is so trash because he always faces like terrible. He always faces really good people. I think he won his first elim on season 5. I want to say I don't remember. Maybe 4. I don't know if he did or not. But
More recent season.
Oh, I think
I think it happened.
Mikey lost to Alex. I think
he did. I think he beat.
Oh, that was season 4. My bad.
I thought he beat someone in the limb. I don't remember who
lost,
it was.
He lost to Brody in Word
Oh, he beat either Joy or Jess. I don't remember who it was, but
It
Fine.
was probably Joy.
Yeah.
shout out to that Mikey for that. But yeah, it says. Oh yeah, it was in Juke's Tower of Hell, a game he admits to like playing
Oh, yeah.
for years. So I mean, valid. Like he's very capable. I want him to make his first final. I really do, because he's someone that's like he's played God of games for so long. I want him to see him succeed. I don't know. Like I feel like he's someone that I feel like if he plays his cards right, could easily slide by with this cast. If there is a 2-side war, it's just he can't get caught like trying to double play both sides or something, because someone like if he tried working with Josh and them and Josh found out he was doing all that shit, like Josh he would not have that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think
Also,
Alex is on the
Mikey-
stronger side, but
Mikey this
Okay.
season, there's like a lot of like names that he would be working with as well, because like he knows like Izzy, Adore, Avery. Like there's a lot of like new faces that he could be working with, but his demise in his previous season was he was a flip flopper, playing both sides of the house. So I hope, like Nolan said, he plays his cards right. I can see him make it to the end. But winning, it depends on who he makes it to the end with.
Yeah, like I feel like Mikey definitely is a constant like every single season. I mean, it might just because we played like pretty much the same seasons together for the most part, and Mikey always was there for a decent chunk of them. But I feel like Mikey has more potential to shine in team seasons versus individual seasons, because
Mhm.
I mean, while you're right, he got eliminated by a lot of people in this like upper echelon of physicality. And so his elim record doesn't really indicate how good he is in competitions. He's still not the strongest in competitions. He's not weak, but he's always like an easy out for people who are stronger. And I guess there isn't really a call out for this season, which might work in his favor, because I think that's kind of what hurt him in the past, is people saw him as an easier out in eliminations.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he can do well here, but he might struggle a bit. I hope he does get to the end, but I don't think he will get to the end here.
I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people are going to be struggling this season.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
So
I don't know. Mikey is interesting for me because he has played a lot of seasons, but you're right. He has lost to these stronger players. I think though, if he's in elimination against like anybody else that's not in like that top tier and maybe the tier under it that I was mentioning earlier, I think he probably wins every time. He's very capable in a lot of games. So I don't know. Like he's like a dark horse for me. I think he could be slept on for sure. But I agree with what Tripp said earlier, and the fact that he gets clocked a lot for playing all sides or playing both sides. And if this becomes a side versus side thing, and he tries to play that middle person game, I just don't know how successful he's going to be at it. Because he's gotten clocked. Like even in season 1, the very first season, he got clocked.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
He at least gives the attempt there. I think it's also just like it's going to come down if he does go on elimination. It's going to be what partner he has. I think that's going to be a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's someone who's going to thrive well with a weaker partner, but I think he's more than okay to pull his own weight with a stronger partner if he finds himself in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just going to be the big thing for him, whether his partner in certain rounds are going to be who he needs to win. Because I can see a lot of people here not really meshing well with him as partners.
He's very polarizing.
Anyways, I'm rooting for you, Mikey. Just please change your game style, please. Or I
Damn.
think you'll. If you change your game
No,
style,
I
I
really-
think you'll be good in this game.
I really think if he just stays loyal
I'll send
to
this to him before the season.
the whole podcast, yeah. No,
Yeah, I'll
The
send it
pep
to him.
talk. The pep talk. Change your fucking game.
no, I do think though if he stays loyal to one side, like I do think he can do well. He just needs to not try and flip flop. I would love for him to just try and play a loyal game.
Okay.
All right. All right. Moving on, we have another one of the OG squad that played the first 4 seasons in a row before taking off season 5. I thought he was retired, and then he came back. So Jelly Dubrow. I mean, like, here's the thing about Jelly. Like, I feel like if you hate Jelly, you're just kind of weird. Like, I mean, obviously, sometimes like you might not be the best person to be on a team or a partner with, but like hating the kid is like, I just like he. It's just weird to me. He's so nice.
He's so innocent.
Yeah, exactly.
Not you guys calling Jelly a kid.
And what they did to him on season 5 was a travesty. He deserved to take home some money before the final, and you guys sent him in anyway, and he ended the season with $0.
Oh my
And-
god.
So he,
Who did that?
yeah, you know who you are.
True,
Looks
actually
away
true.
so much.
Actually true.
Yeah, we did kind of just shove Jelly.
But
God
Jelly
will
did
judge
make
you
his
for that.
Joey did make his first final, which I'm happy about. He proved that, like, he was never really, he went in a couple of limbs, but he was never really, like, in a bad position aside from, like, the list of, not being high in people's list. But I still don't think, unless people are, like, throwing their vote, like, he's going to be someone that gets looked at as, like, being targeted. He did mention me when he's like, I said yes to this format because I thought it would be something I'd like to play. So I don't know if he thinks it's going to be some kind of like rivals season. I think going into it, a lot of people think friend or foe stands for like some rivals shit, which is kind of funny because I don't know if I would ever do a rivals season. But
God, I hate rival seasons.
Me too.
they just never work out.
Yeah.
That being said, I want Joey to do well. I think he just needs to take the backseat role on most of these partnerships, because if you're doing a partner challenge or elimination together, I think Jelly, although maybe not to be the best competitor, he's very like, he'll do what you say. Like he's very like coachable
right.
in that aspect. He doesn't like talk back or anything if he understands like he's the lesser person. So him and Andrew got a win against Tripwit, and he Tripwit his first elim loss in Dota games.
Well,
And
Not the
so I have decent hopes for
that's why
Jelly,
you
but
left with no money. Anyway.
Oh, wow. I put him
Oh my god.
kind of around the middle. I put him at 16 out of 25, but how can you root against him?
My thing with Jelly is I feel like he is going to stay under the radar. Like you said, if he's paired up with like a stronger player, he will do his best to not like just to like help out the partnership. Same thing for eliminations. He does perform pretty well in eliminations. But I do feel like a lot of people, if people throw their votes, he will be a target. I just feel like I just feel like he's gonna play more of a social game this season. Especially when he sees all these bigger names that are in the game, he's going to be a little more sneakier. So I feel like he's going to make it halfway or a little bit further.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like Jelly's always somebody who like you can bet on them doing okay. Like they're never gonna be an early boo, but I feel like as the season goes on, it becomes a steeper and steeper climb for them to actually make it to the end.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Jelly is an interesting one because I would love for Jelly to get his first win. But unfortunately, I just think he needs to apply himself a little bit more. And what I mean by that is, I personally think if he puts himself out there to be valuable to other people in the game, they're not going to be willing to throw him to the wolves at any given point in the game. Because I think where Jelly sometimes fails is that he's like Patrick said, the easy vote, the easy person to throw in because people don't feel a ton of loyalty with him. And if he can build up those bonds and make and kind of ensure that um, people I don't know people won't do that to him, then I think he'll fare a lot better this season. But yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe that final will give him the confidence he needs to switch some things up, and hopefully he can make another final, and we can see how he does.
All right. So next up, we have someone that we've not seen since season 1. He is the old person coming back representation. In season 3, we saw Pixie return from season 1. Season 5, we saw Otto finally return to great success. Both of them winning after not playing, you know. So now we have Thunderstorm. And Ethan, this is someone you helped me bring back, which I'm very thankful for because I think, I don't know, I just love having the old school people around. I feel like season 1 was just such a fever dream, and it had such like everyone on that cast, like 17 out of the 20 people, I feel like had some potential, and he's one of them. And I know he used to play a couple like remember looking at the like challenge charts or whatever from Izzy's game, um, and he's a very like I don't even know how to explain this dude. I don't know like what connections he really has. I know one of the only few groups he's in is like the Black Knights reality show server or whatever.
Hmm.
So I don't know how many like connections he has, but I also the only fear for him I really have is like him being on the opposite end of like a burn vote, and I really do want him to do well, despite putting him right behind Jelly at number 17 out of 25. It's mostly just because he's like the complete random wild card, and I don't know. I feel like we didn't get to see much of his skill that much. I think he went in. I believe he went in against an Epic in elimination, which at the time was a death sentence.
Hmm.
So he's kind of like goofy, but I remember, and I just watched the season 5 podcast last night. And I remember talking about Otto, and on the podcast we talked about like the super golf game where he wrote out every shot and angle to shoot at the hole or whatever. And so like he puts in work and he practices some of the games, which I appreciate. I think he'll be a fine partner to be with. I really don't know what to expect from him. It's been so long.
Yeah, it has been a very long time, and gosh, who would have thought that I would have recruited him after playing the challenge auto with him randomly, especially after we fought. We had
And he hated you.
we had like a really public fight in season 1.
That's your rival.
That's the crazy thing.
That is my rival.
Uh,
No, but I am very excited to see him back. He's always a good competitor. He's going to put in the effort. Um, and yeah, he'll bring it. He might bring some drama, which I would love.
What I have to say about Thunder, I have never played a game with him at all, but since he is coming back after the very first season, um, I feel like it is going to be a lot of catching up for him to do. Um, with that being said, I feel like he is going to have a hard time making connections, and a lot of people are not going to know him, which I feel like he's going to get targeted. So I really hope he does make it far in this game. Since I don't know him, I would like to get to know him. So I'm excited to see how he does after taking a long break.
Yeah, I think for all intents and purposes, he can kind of be counted as a rookie because the amount of people who actually, how many people actually played with him and
Oh
remember
god.
what he did on the first season? Because I won't
I,
lie, I had to go back and look at the charts to be like, who is this person again? Um, so yeah, I think he is gonna kind of be put in the same category as a lot of these newbies in this season, and hopefully he can make his mark and not just fade into obscurity again.
yeah, I just hope a lot of the OGs of this cast, because there's a lot of them, just Roblox wise, not God of Games wise, at least knows him. Because I feel like a lot of people do know him or should know him, and I'm hoping that's the case because I want them to work together. So I'm hoping I tell you guys I want them to do good. I know it's been a while. Yeah, yeah, we got a cheer
I
squad.
just hope he surprises a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love like him to come out of nowhere and just make the final. Like after taking that many seasons off, that would be really funny.
That would be quite iconic.
Yeah,
Moving on.
I would love that.
I think we're all rooting for, like, everyone always roots for like the older person that hasn't played in a long time. And aside
Yeah,
from like,
because it's hard. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Ooh,
oh, I'm just saying, yeah, it's just hard for people who haven't played in a while because they're not used to they're not making as many connections as people have been playing for like 4 or 5 seasons. So they do have a lot of catching up to do. So that's why a lot of people root for like pretty much like the underdogs. You know what I mean?
No, of course, and I really hope he does well, and maybe he'll play again after this. Who knows? Moving on, we have Mister not on Pixie Pizza's team.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
we we dedicated a whole. Neff just posted the podcast last night. We dedicated a whole ass segment to like him declining the invite and then not getting on this season. Which honestly, I love you, Charlie, but like you can be kind of annoying to host. Like no shade, but the shit you made Josh go through on the box game was pure evil. So that being said, gamebot. That being said, Charlie, how long do we think it's going to be before he pisses someone off?
That's my bestie right there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Your bestie is like enemies of like 8 people, so
Like we were like a match made in heaven. Everybody hated us the entire season.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's really good, and the thing I love about Charlie is like the drive is there for him to win this game. That's the one thing I will say. Like he really wants to win God of Games. The issue is if he really cared that much, like he would keep his like ego / emotions in check because he does get in fights with people, and I definitely agree. Like he definitely got like I don't want to say bullied, but he got like jumped on season 4 by the house, and obviously like nobody should have to go through that, but at the same time, like you got to look within sometimes as to like why people may feel that way towards you, I guess. But
Yeah,
I do.
Was Charlie an asshole for a lot of the season? Yeah. Did he get jumped a little bit too hard by everybody? I think so. And like, yeah, I get that probably puts me in the minority that I'm defending Charlie, and I think I did defend Charlie, and I kind of got jumped for a little bit as well. Yeah, like Charlie can be a lot. I get that. But I do have faith that he can brute force his way through everything as long as he doesn't get into, that scenario that we brought up. Somebody pairs him with a terrible partner and targets him. I think that's going to potentially be his downfall this season.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you guys know what I'm saying. I don't think there's anyone else in the entire world that would be as much of a game bot as to decline a spot on someone's team to try and get on another team when the person inviting you is the game bot. They are the game bot hosts
Hey,
that are picked out of the four hosts. That was the game bot.
and look how it turned out for you. 0 people in the final, and he wanted to be on my
Why do you
team
think
with that one.
All I'm saying is it would have been a lot different if I had him.
Well, you should have given more convincing speech then.
Do you think I should have just told him, hey, you're probably getting this alone because no one else wants you. Join my team.
No, I
I was like-
literally. You can even ask Patrick. I sent Patrick a whole essay on why he should be on my team, and he joined my team.
Yes.
So
That worked out really
sent-
great for you, didn't it, Ethan?
I sent Charlie a pretty hefty speech as well.
okay.
Like
well, then,
I
never
sent
mind.
him something. I didn't just like send it like, hey, you should join. I was like, I literally told him I had a good ass reason why he should join. But yeah, there's no doubting his ability. I don't think a bad partner is even going to affect him that much. I think this is going to be better for him, to be honest. This might be his type of format because the people might not be happy to be partnered with him,
He's gonna be practicing
that's
those
all-
comps.
but he's going to be practicing those comps. Those people he might be paired with are going to have allies who aren't going to want to send in their ally that round just to get rid of Charlie.
Mhm.
Right.
Like they're not going to be that desperate to get rid of him. So I definitely think this is going to be a better format for him. And I definitely think he'll make finale again easily.
Yeah, I put him at 6. Like I said, I don't think he's like completely safe. I mean, they threw his ass in against Patrick. Like, props to that. That was a big move. Content.
Thanks.
Our question:
Yeah.
Are a lot of the people that jumped Charlie on this cast? I don't even know.
Alex was the main one.
Alex, we'll get into that with Alex as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like them, Joy, I think probably got into maybe Siege. I don't know, just the people that were on the opposite side of the game that really didn't like the people that won was the alliance of really like Triplet, Charlie, Patrick, and Caleb. And the people that like kind of jumped him were on the other side of that, I would say, for the most part. But beefing with Alex is gonna be tough because Alex, he's really good, and I don't know. I had Charlie at 6, so we'll see. Moving on, we have one of my besties, Buffy, otherwise known as Killer Caleb. He's another one of those people that are slowly but surely racking up seasons. This is their 5th season. They've made 2 finals, and they have never won. But I do think Caleb, every time he plays, he has potential because I just love watching him play because he actually puts effort into this game. Like, and the way he does it is different than most other people. So he's someone that, like, I don't like casting multiple people the same season, but he's someone I feel like provides confessionals, someone that is a good competitor, someone that socializes people. And if you keep doing that, you're just going to keep getting brought back. Like, eventually I'll make him not play, but like for right now, like I want it's some people just have storylines, and there's not many people aside from like someone like Charlie and stuff that really want to win as bad as he does. So he has the heart and stuff like that. I think he's probably going to fall into the second group with Josh, Sharpie, and I feel like he'd be like the third in that kind of group, I would say. But I really do think he'll do well. I have him ranked number 2 on my power rankings. I think he could win if he makes it to the final with the right people. It's just keeping everything like in check, keeping calm, like he had a meltdown in the season 4 finale because I mean that finale was rough. If I remember, like making people do the doors and all this other stuff was kind of fun.
I don't think anybody like succeeded on the doors one. Like we
No.
all took the penalty.
yeah,
As a
Whoops.
flashback.
but I mean, I love watching Caleb play, and like we mentioned before, he has his friend Logan in the cast, so that's another trick up his sleeve that nobody knows about.
For Caleb, for me, he is like one of the scariest players socially.
Mm-hmm.
As of like competition wise, I feel like he's going to be a really good partner to a lot of these people, especially when he is experienced in playing many seasons of this game. Yeah, his elimination record is not the best, but I feel like his social aspect carries more than eliminations. I mean, yeah, I feel like he will do well. Even though we used to work together every single season and we fell off, I still have like nothing but good things to say about this person, and I don't. I just see him doing well in this game. Obviously, like he just always makes it far in every single season. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I had to pick one person to like bet on to make finale, it would be Caleb. Whether that's not to win though. I feel like Caleb, while he's strong enough in like challenges to not be a liability, there needs to be certain targets that he takes out before the finale if he wants any shot at winning at all, especially in a solo season like this where he can't really be carried in the end. Because if you're only a mid player physically, there needs to be some cuts made. And I believe Caleb does have the social chops to get those cuts through, but
He's
he
not afraid to
needs to
make
be
moves.
he needs to be actively making those cuts because going to the end with like myself, Charlie, and Alex all there, like that would he sealed his game before the finale even started before. So he needs to be taking out these large players early if he wants to make it to the end and win.
Well,
I
we
agree.
tried, but y'all
No,
just
Well,
kept coming
there
back.
was an attempt. There was an attempt.
There was like one attempt.
The stupid marbles.
Great twist.
Wonderful twist.
It was a fun season, not gonna lie. I had fun doing that one.
I love the Marvels concept that season.
I think Caleb obviously we will see him do really well. I agree with Trip. He's one of the scarier people in the cast because he will 100% put the effort to create those social bonds to ensure his safety for the duration of the season, and he does a really really good job at it. I think if somebody like Sharpie, for example, tries in the game, I think he rivals Sharpie for social game and like just I don't know, spreading himself so thin to the point where he's covered on all angles and he knows what to do. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if he
Which
can get to the
Sharpie
end.
sometimes can't.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I feel like Caleb is more of
Yeah.
like he's a clean social like he just knows how to get himself out of situations to where Sharpie I don't sometimes it just bites Sharpie in the ass, but yeah, seeing these two on in the same season is going to be fun.
hmm I do agree with y'all though with what you guys were saying. If he can get to the end with people he can be, I think that would be so cool to watch. I mean, it would be his season at that point. So I mean, we'll have to see
Oh, agree.
what he decides to do.
Especially after last season, like I'm part of the reason. Like I apologize, but I feel like Caleb is going to be out for fucking blood this season. I'm rooting for Caleb, even though we did fall off. But yeah, I still love you. Cheese, smiles, waves.
All right. Yeah. Moving on. Oh, 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 oh. Well.
Well.
Eva, Turquoise. They've played twice. The first time, they somehow managed to beat Aiden in the mining simulator elimination in season 2 before swiftly being taken out by Madasha in some Super Mario type esque coin adventure forward Star Savior, one of those games I think I made you guys do in the final. And then the second time they came back, they were partnered with Brian. Hilariously, my favorite Eva moment is when it's between Eva and Pixie and the lab experiment to not get last place and go in, and they're like competing for their life, and then Eva was like literally inches away from dying, and then Pixie dies last second and goes into elimination. But then it doesn't matter whatsoever because Eva ends up because Brian and Eva go in against Pixie anyways, and Brian hilariously struggles for like an hour and a half trying to learn how to use a gun and ends up going home. And then last season, I believe in season 4, they were supposed to be on, but they ended up getting cut because of they ended up like quitting last minute because they were like going to quit Roblox or something like that. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then out of pettiness, I definitely did not send them an invite for like last season because, I don't know. So here they are again. I think in terms of personalities and just picking a fight for no reason, like Eva is the number one person in this whole cast.
Didn't they get second boot twice?
Yeah.
Oh, well, welcome
So,
to the second boot alliance.
I think it's gonna be so easy for Josh and them to like throw votes on them, regardless of who their partner is, if it's not someone they're like close with, and I could easily see them being targeted. But they could also be like the figurehead of like their group at least for a while until they. I don't know. I want Eva to do well. I just really don't see them making it past episode like 5. I will say, but I could be surprised. I have them ranked at number 19 out of 25. But I mean, hopefully they make it past episode 2 at the very least. But definitely going to be a personality.
Yeah, the thing is about Eva is that Eva will find a way to make themselves a target when they really should not be a target at all. And so if Eva can keep their mouth shut, they have potential to make it past second boot. If they don't keep their mouth shut, we might see another early boot here.
But I think what's good about Eva
I
is.
agree.
Oh, go on, Trip. Sorry.
Oh, I was mainly just gonna say I agree with what Patrick's saying. If Eva can control themselves and not pick fights with a lot of people, they can make it far. But I just hope that they actually like compete and not fight.
I won't
I don't
complain
know.
if they fight.
I think they're gonna fight regardless,
Yeah.
but I think that's what I like about Eva is like I know what I'm getting, and
Like,
if they do
yeah.
if they do better than going home early, then they exceeded my expectations because, I mean, look, they're gonna get into drama regardless. So I'm kind of here for it. I'm here for the drama. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
as long as it doesn't get personal, I'll just say that. Then yes.
Yeah, I remember like after season 1 was kind of just like very. I mean, there wasn't a lot of drama at all in season 1. Then season 2 came along, and like it started with a bang.
Oh my god!
I don't even remember what the drama was about, but I just remember it was like Aiden, Eva, and Britt who were like in the center of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, it was crazy.
Yeah, they were like.
I just remember just like. It was like a call that was happening. They were like calling somebody out, and I was just like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
They were calling Ryan transphobic for like no reason.
Yeah, it was a mess.
And then the Brit curse after Brit got disqualified. Our team just dropped like flies.
I think something no one's really addressed really is the org connections that are there. I don't know everything, but Eva's pretty well known in like the challenge org community. They'll have Otto on their side. They'll be with Izzy. Eva might be able to just go into there with that group and be able to ride with them. So I definitely think that's going to be a pretty good thing to have, especially because I think there'll be more people Eva can tolerate this season.
Oh, 100%.
So there's also going to be a lot more people who are going to piss Eva off for sure.
Another
I thi-
Eva and Ryan fight? Question mark.
I think they're in like a
Right,
good
yeah.
spot. The biggest scenario where I see Eva getting like ousted is where if people perceive them like as a weaker competitor in Roblox, then I think she might, like, for example, if the other side we expect to be like on her side end up winning the daily, and like obviously they're gonna throw in like someone like a Josh or Ryan or Caleb or like someone in their group, where I could easily see like them voting in like Eva and their partners like an easy way to try to get out of like winning the elimination. But I don't. It's hard to like judge them physically because I've only seen them in like 4 episodes. But like she's gonna provide in her 2 episodes or 1 episode, however long she's there, and we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, regardless of how long they last, like there's gonna be drama.
That's why I have them at 19 out of 25. But we'll move on to TBH Aiden. Now, last season, Aiden was like someone like Otto, where like they hadn't played since season 2, and I was very excited to see them play. And honestly, like Aiden without like Eva and Britt is like my favorite version of Aiden. Like Aiden was like a menace and got in like random fights with people for like no reason on season 2, which led to like his elimination. But like Aiden is like one of the best competitors that people sleep on. And there was Ethan got a steal in Aiden in the last round, picking him as your like team member. And Aiden was like, he was not really controversial or anything. Like he went in 1 elimination, he took out Caleb in a Jeopardy thing. I mean, one could argue maybe there was some Googling involved, but it's nowhere confirmed or denied. But like
The allegations are there.
yeah, will he beat the allegations? We'll have to wait and see this season. I don't know. I could see him being targeted as one of the better members of their group, but like I was pleased with his appearance last season, and I was excited to see him come back. He's not so bad when you get to talk to him alone, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think Aiden will be a very, very valuable player as like somebody who is randomly partnered with him. I feel like a lot of people will be comfortable having him as a partner, trusting him that they can carry to win a daily. But as a social aspect, I've never talked to him, so I have no idea how his social game is. But I feel like he is going to be another like player that wins a bunch of challenges.
Yeah, I think he's going to be slept on a lot. I think
Hmm.
I picked him last on my team because I thought, while I didn't he do really bad the season before, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I picked him to give one, to give him another chance, but 2, I just felt like he had more to give, and clearly he did, and he did decently well. So I don't know. I'm excited to see if he can keep up with all of these big dogs, because this cast is really stacked.
I mean, he's a pretty good player too, so I feel like he'll do pretty good in this season as well.
And I'm sure he's probably going to work with Eva, right? I feel like they're like really connected.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And if that's the
Easily.
case, Eva has those connections to the challenge community. I could see Aiden easily falling into a bigger alliance.
And yeah, I definitely agree. I have him at number 10 out of 25, which I think is a fair rating for him. He infamously double crossed Patrick and led to
Oh my God, I
Patrick's
thought that was
elimination.
Tasha.
Was it Tasha? I thought Tasha
I
did
think it
Blake.
was. I thought it was Tasha.
Well, one of
I
them
mean,
framed
one of
the
them-
other for it. One of them framed the other for it. I don't remember.
I
I
just
think Tasha did.
All I
just
know is
remember
that
I
I was
was I was dealing
praying.
with an org at the time, and I did not have a social game whatsoever yet.
Oh, you
So
didn't.
regardless of who
Yeah.
it was, I don't blame them for it because my priorities were elsewhere, and Nolan knows exactly where they were.
And you lost them both. Just
That
kidding.
was like the craziest
Oof.
first episode like I've ever played.
You were literally my number
I
one
don't know.
pick, and then you got first boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If I wasn't doing like a heroes versus villains in another org, then I would have like actually talked to my team. But I was so stressed out about that other org that I was not giving anything in God of Games yet.
I was stressed. I thought I was getting first boot again. I was praying not to get like you or Alex. I'm like, motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, but
I think if I got anybody else except Alex for that elimination, I probably would have won. But
No, don't sleep
whatever.
on me. Don't sleep on me.
but yeah,
Don't sleep on me.
Aiden. I think he'll do fine. It just depends on who the opposition targets first. If they wanted someone strong, I think it would be him. If they wanted someone like more annoying to them, it might be Eva. But
I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people are gonna use Aiden to take out like a lot of strong people as well. Um, but I don't really know his connections to everybody in this game. I mean, I think he knows like Adore, Izzy, Avery. Like,
Yeah.
I think he'll like gravitate more towards them.
Mhm.
So I feel like that can like help him in this game as well. So yeah, I think he's gonna make it far.
all right. Next up we have CJ Soup. I think they have a new username now, but I could be completely mistaken. Um, I I always liked CJ. I think from the Fresh Meat-esque season we had, CJ was definitely one of the standout rookies, and they've played every season since, which, looking at the list, I don't think there's anyone that really falls into that category. But CJ's always been on like the other side of, like the main clique. And I mean, I kind of get it when you join like in a later season, and you already feel like there's a group that's formed. And I I want CJ to do well, though. I think he's one of the only people that have played a bunch of times and haven't made a final that I think does like have that potential. He won a daily challenge on their own in the individual season, and I feel like CJ was doing all right. He made it. It was what him and Marks, if I remember correctly, Pixie. I think
They did so well together.
yeah, it was him and Marks, and they both went out like the last two episodes. And CJ's always been someone kind of like if you look at like a Blake up until last season, where CJ's always made it like really, at least to the halfway point in every season. So I think he's a solid person to have on partner when he talks on call. But I put CJ at number 14 out of 25.
I mean, yeah, I like CJ. I'm always a big CJ fan. Obviously, last season kind of showed that, but they're just consistent. They don't have anything they're really not good at, unless it's like something super complex. But I feel like they're able to hold themselves in most situations. And I think last season I kind of showed them, hopefully, how you can kind of try and prepare for some of this stuff. Because that was just something I was working on a lot with my team. I mean, Otto was good at that as well. It was just preparation, practicing a little bit, realizing it's not all like you don't have to go in like you don't know what you're doing. You can play the game for only 10, 15 minutes, go, oh yeah, I got it, and then do your run. So
Right.
hopefully that sort of teachings goes over. I hope they're practicing a little bit here. I always got good faith in CJ to make it decently far. Hopefully this is their season.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about CJ is that they are not afraid to make moves when they have power. Um, so I feel like CJ is going to be another player to cause chaos in this game. So I'm ready to see what they can do this season. I hope they make it make it to their first final. So yeah.
Definitely going to have a lot of connections on the other side. I think like Otto, obviously Aiden,
Mark.
Eva,
Mark,
Mark,
yeah, I'm
Mark's,
sure he's gonna stay loyal to Mark after last
Izzy
season.
probably. So I mean,
Yeah,
even him and Mikey and like Alex for a while. I think just before voting Alex in like 8 times, but yeah. All right, we'll move on to the next person here. We have Heidi Summers. Fun fact about Heidi: Heidi is actually an elimination beast. If you go and look back, Heidi won 2 eliminations in 5 episodes, being partnered with Cade, taking out Tanner and Danny, as well as Joey and Andrew. And Heidi's someone that's always said yes to the invites, but I feel like it's tough to put her on a season just because of her schedule, and I just don't know what she really wants to bring into Gata games. She was kind of like a meme on season 3, being with Cade, and they ended up winning a couple eliminations. But she I remember they went home and it was some like speed run type game, or like some Spider-Man type game, and she like fell asleep in the elimination against Josh.
all time moment.
That was like one of the fucking funniest things I've ever witnessed
So
hosting this game. So I have her all the way down at 22 out of 25, the lowest ranking rookie. But like I said, there's some people that like I felt like I wanted to give another chance. I mean, obviously, I wanted Rare to play, but obviously he like did not respond. But Heidi is someone that I feel like can, I don't know. I really have no expectations for her. If she bombs and brings someone down with her. If she does good, then I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are going to be someone who ends up kind of robbing their partner. It might just be because of a bad elimination. That's the feeling I've got. But I have high hopes. I want Heidi. I want to see other people do well, because it's always a pleasant surprise when someone does good, and not just the same usual people who make it to the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, season 3 was like the one season that I didn't really play, so Heidi is a wild card for me, and I can't really comment a whole lot on her, but I mean, from what I've heard, she does sound like she's going to be a fun addition here, so hopefully she can prove herself.
Yeah, I definitely think she will be. Has she played since season 3 or no?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
Well,
she's accepted the invite the last like 3 times, but I didn't ever put her on.
Gotcha.
Well, you guys didn't select her. Neither did I. But.
Including you. Don't don't try to.
Okay, well, one of my picks was taken by Brian, so don't.
That doesn't.
And the other one quit the game.
Wait, who quit?
Joy, basically,
Joy.
and Bray. My team was a mess, but we still collected the check.
You took other people in.
You got lucky.
Let's triplet.
Hey.
But
Interested to see how they'll do. Coming back after so long.
But yeah, moving on, we're getting close to the end here. We have the previously owning the record for most elimination wins was Patrick. But now, Big Bad Alex, who averages like 5 elimination rounds per season over here. Social game, a mess. Physical game, unmatched. I feel like I don't know, like he does good at things I don't expect him to do good at. If we look at he took down, not only did he beat Patrick's record, he ended up beating Patrick, and something I had no idea Wordle was one of his skill sets, to be honest with you, and I thought something like mentally like that Patrick would kill at, but obviously when you play Wordle every freaking day, like the exact letters to start with and stuff like that. So
that was sad.
like I think I don't know. I'm like I do think I say this a lot with so many people. It's like when I write host opinions every 6 years, and when I get on these podcasts, like he is someone that I feel like genuinely could potentially will be a God of Games winner someday. I think, and I don't just mean that like, oh, he's gonna win a team season. Like, no, like if he got to a final, he could win the final. He just needs to socially apply himself more. Like physically, can he get himself out of the situations 9 times out of 10? Sure, but you never know when you're gonna go into cooking elimination against someone that works as a chef. So, yeah.
Yeah, for me, Alex is definitely a threat when it comes to like competition wise, but he definitely lacks the social side, which is why he constantly gets put in. But you can't really like just depend on your physical side. Like you have to like be social too, which is why he got taken out last season. But I really hope like he steps up like his social side of the game more than his physical side, and if he evens out like his strengths with the both of them, I feel like he's going to be like a beast of a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, like Alex, I think had like a worse social game than me, which is really saying something because heaven
is pretty
knows that
bad.
I do not have the best social games in this series.
Mm-mm. You just went with the ride.
And it's like, at some degree, like when we were playing at that level, we can kind of get away with it because like Alex is one of those people where he's just so good physically that you don't really need a social game to do well. And I know that everybody hates and rolls their eyes at that, but it is the case for a lot of these seasons. The thing is with Alex here is that since this is not technically a solo season, you can't just rely on that. Like I fully recognize I would probably do horrible on this season because I'm always going to be chained to someone else. And I think that's going to be Alex's problem is that he's always going to be chained to somebody else and he's not going to be able to socially maneuver around that fact.
Do you think that he brings down the person he's paired with?
Socially,
No, but
not
I'm saying,
physically.
well, I'm saying as far as like a vote goes, like voting teams in.
Well, they
Like,
vote
I-
separately, which is
They
good.
vote
But
separately.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I think whoever's partnered with him in any given week, especially when people are looking towards the final, like he's gonna have a painted target on his back. And because the things are like the game is probably looking like it might be two-sided, I think he might be able to at least avoid that with at first. I mean, like he avoided a couple. He wasn't like first targeted that much, at least in the beginning of the solo season that we did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Mikey was there, and that was like a big help. And now that Mikey's playing with him again, I think it might help him a little. And he said he will play a social game this time. I think he said that to me in DM. So
Did
we'll
he
see
say
when I
that?
go.
'Cause that's-
I'll believe it when I see it. I put him at number 4 out of 25. So
I mean,
Yeah. Like
I'll
Alex
one moment.
was doing fine and like I guess like the first half of the season when there was 2 people going home per round. But then like at some point I'm looking at my voting chart and out of like the final like 8 or so episodes, I think I didn't vote for him like twice. It's just like
Damn.
Alex Clover, Alex Clover, Alex Clover, Alex Clover, Alex Clover.
Right.
I voted for him 4 times in a row at some point, and the only reason why I didn't vote for him like 6 times in a row is because he was already sent in by like the other method at the final, like the penultimate round. So yeah, I think he might run into that again, where if he doesn't improve his social game, he's just going to be targeted every single round at the end because nobody's going to want to like go into the finale with him.
Yeah.
But since a lot of people, since people think it's going to be a partner season, as they're constantly in like pairs, it might benefit him because a lot of people might keep him to help them make it further by like winning challenges or help winning the final. But if
Oh yeah,
they
is it public knowledge that the final is run solo?
Yeah.
No.
No.
no, yeah. So I
Uh,
feel like
yeah.
it's either gonna be like I could see him making it far in this game, but like players like Josh, like all the bigger names, I feel like they're like, oh, I don't want to see him in the final. I
Yeah,
like
they're gonna be scared of him.
he, for me, he pretty much acts like a Darrell to where he doesn't really socialize, and then a lot of people are just like, I don't want to see him in a final because every time he's in a final, he wins, even though he didn't win in the final. But still, he's like a dangerously good competitor physically, but needs to pick up the social game.
100%.
That is all.
I mean, I'll comment on it. I like Alex because I like how they played a lot like me, where I don't give a shit about the social game. I'll have like a couple people I'll ally with, but for the most part, I just don't care for it. I think Alex is the same way. The thing I'm worried about Alex is that I don't think has been brought up fully. Nolan might know what their schedule's like, but I'm worried about scheduling issues with Alex.
I
Because-
forgot about that.
That was the nightmare for us on the Spring Squirrels. There were
He
times
wasn't
where
that
Alex just
bad
didn't
like the
show up.
first season he played.
Yeah, the first season was fine. This previous season, that's where it was a little bit unfortunate because we were coming across a lot of times where Alex would just be unresponsive to us because they weren't there or they were busy with other stuff, which is fair. I think college was a big thing for them, or work. I'm not sure which it was, but it was probably one of them. And I'm hoping that doesn't screw over their partner.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping they do well. I'm always an Alex supporter. I just hope that they're able to coordinate well with their partner and when to do these because I think this could be a good chance for Alex. I'm hoping.
Yeah, also like since he does like lack the social aspect of the game, a lot of people look at him like a wild card. Like if he wins the daily, you never know what he's
Yeah.
gonna do. So
Exactly.
yeah, I hope he wins. I think he deserves to be a winner of this series, especially since like his rookie season, he made like a big first impression when it comes to like the physical aspect. But yeah, I'm excited to see how he plays this season.
Yeah, moving on. We have oh boy. Say yes to the Jess. Jessica. Jess? I don't know. Triplet, this is your blood and you blindsided them. Let's talk about Jess.
Don't
So
say that.
Oh, God. You're gonna put me on blast.
Jess got sent home in episode 5, losing to, I believe it was Alex in elimination. Understandable. However, she then went to redemption and then ended up winning her way back in, I believe. And then she was safe for like 3 or 4 episodes before being taken out again and then winning 2 more redemptions. She's 4-0 in redemption battles. So she won 4-1 technically, but she beat the likes of, I believe this is she beat Marina, she beat David, she beat Mikey, and she ended up beating Blake. My favorite one was against Blake. They were playing a gun game called Shootout, where you have to raise through the ranks and shoot each other with a gun. And Blake was like absolutely demolishing her. And then Blake got down to like, and Blake felt bad, so he let her kill her a couple times. And then Blake got down to the final knife, where you had to like stab or punch the person. And like Jess caught up because like Blake couldn't get the kill. And then Jess ended up winning the whole, like the thing. And I was like, oh my god, this did not just happen. But I believe the one she finally lost was to Charlie in the CSGO thing, or someone in the CSGO thing where they ended up coming back in. But, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of Jess in the house, but when Jess got into Redemption, I was like, okay, this is like an underdog I can root for. All things considered, I really do want her to do well. She was on the casting board for season 4, but none of us, or 5, but none of us selected her. But I have her ranked at 18 out of 25, and we'll see how she does.
So just to clarify the whole me betraying my ride or die. So when she came back into the game from Redemption, there was other connections that she had that I've noticed during due to the format of the game when they had to save somebody like the duel style. I noticed that she was saving other people that was not part of my alliance, so I had no idea where Jess stood in the game. So that's why I didn't want to risk it. So yeah, Jess, I'm sorry, but other than that, she is a really really solid partner to have in these comps because she really puts the effort into trying to win. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be happy to be with her as a partner, but I don't know where she's going to stand with everybody else in the game. So I do hope she makes it far, but let's just hope she makes good connections. Not the awkward silence. Somebody else go.
Yeah, like I do remember, like I think we were technically allies at the start of like which season
Wait.
was it? Season 4.
4.
And you noticed it, right?
Yeah, it's like she definitely like kind of was sketching. I think yeah, she was sketching us out by like the mid game a bit, but I don't think we ever like. I mean, I never turned on her explicitly. But that was just me. I'm not speaking for anybody else here.
Oh my god. You know what? Whatever.
Anyway,
I didn't win that
But
season,
Oh,
okay?
wow.
So Chaz, be happy I didn't win.
yes, I am very happy that you didn't win. Thank you. I do think that I think she is gonna slip through the cracks in the season. I think that she is going to be able to probably play a little bit more of a snake game if she wants to, and nobody's really going to target her for it. I mean, she was able to, I guess she's somewhat settled into a comfortable position after she returned again with the anti alliance of everyone who was like against us. But yeah, we'll see how she does. I think she can be a little bit of a wild card, though.
And sometimes that could be a good thing. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I hope Jess makes it far. Yeah, we haven't talked since that season, but anyways.
Nope.
Yeah. Moving on. Next.
oh,
Oh.
all right. Next up is one of my besties, a pure legend. He's one of the smartest people. He's honestly probably one of the smartest people, if not the smartest person in this cast outside of the game, I would say, probably. It's J to the Cobb 333, a one-time player and a one-time finalist who avoided elimination the whole season on the last season you played. Infamously took control with Triplet and made the move on Caleb. And I think Jacob's a solid competitor. I think he's going to be one of, if not the most, under the radar people in this whole game. But he's also not afraid to go in. And looking at it now, I may have ranked him a bit high, but I took a risk and I put him all the way at number 5. Do I think Jacob's going to win this game? Not necessarily. I think the final, there's some people, like we've talked about, have a lot of people that need to go before them in order to win in the end. But he is someone I do trust, and I hope we do see win. Or do good, at least. So, yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love Jacob. He's always gonna try, and I appreciate that. Is he going to put himself out there and apply himself socially to every single person? No. He's one of those
No.
people where he's gonna wait for others to approach him, and he'll form bonds based off of the people that want to reach out to him to, I don't know, work together, etc. So I don't know. I think that's good and bad. I mean, he already comes in with some connections, so he already has some. He already has an upper hand when it comes to that. But yeah, I think if he can get in with the right people, once again, I think he'll do fine. He's really good at floating in God of Games, which is that's not even a drag. That's a compliment. I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah,
just
it's
think
hard to
he's a-
float by in these.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Jacob is a very underrated player, so I don't think he's going to be looked at all. Just like Ethan said, I feel like he's going to float. Um, but I'm worried about him is that the social connections. I feel like people are going to use him to take out stronger people. Like there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be using other people to take out the strong ones. So I just hope Jacob isn't the victim of that. But I honestly can see him making it to a final if based on late game on how many strong people has been eliminated. But yeah, I could see him making it to the end. So I'm rooting for Jacob, even though he also hates me as well.
He hates
Yeah,
you?
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
I don't really know where I stand with Jacob. I mean, I still remember what he did in that one Survivor.
Oops,
You remember
looks
that
around.
one.
Nope.
Looks.
So okay, but ignoring that, Jacob, I think he is a very strong competitor, but I don't see a finale for him in this season. I think he is probably gonna he's gonna stick with the wrong people to make it to the end.
I agree
If
with
that
you, but
makes
he also
sense.
won't be the first target from the if it
Mhm.
becomes a sides game, which I
He's
think
gonna
can work
be
to his advantage.
Yeah.
he's gonna be invisible. I feel like he's gonna be invisible for the first like half of the game.
And that's
I
a
feel
good
like
thing.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
way
that's a
I
good thing.
envision it is that he's gonna like pair with someone from his side, but it's gonna be a weaker member of like said side, and then they're like, okay, here's like a somewhat weaker pair of people that we're not working with. Why don't we target them and get them out so we just have more numbers on our side?
Well, the pairs are random each round, so
I know, but like that's just how I envision Jacob's gonna end up going this season.
never say never. But moving on, our last person. We're finally almost at the end of this, so I'm so excited. Sorry about that. Last but not least, we have someone that's been around for quite a long time, but finally made their first season.
The round.
Hey,
I'll play that every season.
That
He's
one's
on.
my.
that is
I-
the best soundbite I've heard in my entire life. Like no, you guys don't even know the amount of times Nolan and I quote that is like ridiculous. We literally, it's like at least once a week. At least once a week.
On top of being iconic and giving funny moments. Going to last season, Marks was not the person I expected to be Pixie's last team member,
Yeah.
and I feel like we as a hosting team kind of did him dirty, making him do the key game all by himself.
That was a you thing.
That
Do
is
not-
that is
That is
vile.
shoulder
That is
that.
so dirty.
Dude,
That is so
Do
dirty.
not shoulder that onto the rest of us. Do not shoulder that
Yeah,
onto the
that's-
I
rest
think
of
he
us.
gave up at like 3 or 4
No,
hours.
That's like wasting half your day.
That's horrible.
Anyway,
That's
he was never gonna
Yeah.
win, but he put in a good fight. I have him
Do
at
not
15 out of
associate us with that.
I have him at 15 out of 25. He originally was going to say yes, and then he said he would if I applied for his game, which I completely forgot to do. But he still said yes. So, looks around. I don't know. We got to make this a good experience for him. I don't know if we'll see him again afterwards. But no, like,
Well,
I
we
feel
don't
like
have the key game this time around, so I'm sure it's already going to be a better experience.
you don't know that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Daily challenge is subject to change.
No.
No, I think Marks is a good middle of the pack player. I think he's not. He's going to have connect. He's one of the best connected people on all sides, as well as not being like targeted. I think a lot of people, which I guess you could say, but a lot of people found him annoying on calls. Which like, I guess you don't know him like as a friend and stuff. That just like his loud personality, and it's not even him being like loud and annoying. It's like being loud, goofy. Can definitely like maybe get on a few people's nerves, but like I really could see like a good season for him here. I think
Yeah.
like it's kind of crazy because from the last like 2 seasons, we only have 4 people that debuted on the last 2 seasons, which is like kind of crazy. And then the rest, we got like one from we only got CJ. And, well, honestly, the last 3 seasons 3, 4, and 5, we have 2 people that debuted in each of those seasons. We have Caleb, Eva, and Aiden from season 2, and then we have the remaining I want to say 6, 7, 8 people from season 1. So it's a pretty even. I mean, aside from the season 1 people, everyone else is kind of evened out, and I think Marks, regardless of all that, is going to have great connections. And I don't think he's the best competitor. I don't think he's going to win, but do I think he can possibly make it to the final or at least make it to the end? Because he definitely can. But the thing you got to realize is once it gets down to we're going to do a final 7, there's going to be a round at final 7, and then one team's just going to win. One person's going to bid on safety, and then out of those 3 duos, 2 of them are going to go in against each other. So I think at that point, that's when I think the weaker people might get weeded out, but towards the end game. But we'll really see, honestly. I want him to do well. He's such a character, so.
Yeah, I love Marks. God, he's one of my favorites. He's just pure entertainment. Blake isn't here, so we kind of celebrated for Marks.
I'm dead.
I love Mark.
After the random out of nowhere beef last season over nothing. He's just, it's so fun when I get to watch Marks. He's always a pleasure. I know he can get annoyed by some people, but he also has network connection with people. He's gonna have Otto and CJ. They're gonna have probably Izzy as well. I see them fitting in to their own little group pretty well. I don't think they're going to get targeted out of that group.
Yeah,
So
I feel like Marks is gonna use this format as some kind of advantage to him. Based off the bidding, I feel like he just seems like a player that's going to always try to get that safety.
Hmm.
I don't know, but with his main connections, I feel like he's gonna be making side connections as well, especially since this is 25 people. So I feel like he's gonna do well. He is pretty good at competitions. So is he gonna be the best partner? Probably not, but I feel like if he's paired up with somebody that's pretty good as well, I feel like they can slip in and make some moves in this game. So, yeah, I'm rooting for Marks.
Ugh, me too.
Marks
Mark's
team.
Mark's is gonna bring it the entire season entertainment wise, and I can't lie. I can see how some people could get annoyed by him just because he is very loud and expressive. But if you know him, he's just having the best time ever, and I just enjoy watching other people enjoy what they're doing, and he just puts a smile on my face every time I um am there to watch him compete. And fun fact, the only run I ever did last season was for Marks, and I do not regret
Yeah.
it. So I very much
He
enjoyed.
got one and done.
I
If
did
you
one
hate
and done.
Marks, you're just automatically a game bot. That's
That
my
part.
take.
That part.
Yeah.
He's pretty
He's
much
great.
just here to have fun, and
Yeah.
I don't know, he's very entertaining.
For sure. And I'm going to Vegas twice this year, so I'll probably see him at some point, which will be fun.
Ooh, okay.
Period.
You got to play the clip to him in person.
I will. I will. Whew.
But yeah, that is everyone. So before we get off, we'll quickly go by and, like we did last season, give our winner prediction and first boot prediction. I actually got my first boot prediction right last time, so
Wait, who was?
I'm not feeling that lucky. I said Valaki.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't watch the last podcast, so I was gonna say if you said me, then we would have had some issues.
See,
even
that's
though
where
you were
that's what I
right.
was asking. I was like, what?
That would have been funny.
Wait, hold on, I blanked out a few moments there. What are we calling for?
Winner prediction each and
Winners?
first boot.
Yeah.
I'll go first. God, predicting a winner out of this cast is gonna be terrible. Originally, I had Sharpie as my number one, but honestly, like,
There's
I'm
so
s-
many strong
I'm
people
s-
here.
right, it just depends on who's in the end. I'm stuck between two people, but I'm gonna take a risk. I think he wants it. I'm gonna go with Charlie. It's season one. The people from season one have won like every single season. There's been a winner from season one, and I see that trend continuing. And first boot is even harder. I feel like harder thing to predict. Because there's a wheel, right? So I kind of just have to.
Mhm.
I feel like whoever gets voted in is probably going to be a stronger duo and just beat whoever the wheel decides. But we'll go with first boot. Adam Kindlefire. I'm sorry.
That king. Oh man. I guess I'll go next. For my winner prediction, I want to pick somebody that I think is connected enough and that I know can compete physically. This is going to be not controversial at all, but like I can see it happening. I see the two-time winner arc for Otto. I'm going to say Otto is my winner pick. Um, and my first boot prediction, I agree it's going to be random. Whoever's voted in. But I'm gonna go for a veteran first boot, just to be dramatic. I'm gonna say first boot will be Jess. As crazy as that may
Oh.
sound, I think it's gonna happen. I don't know. I just feel it.
Ethan hates women. You heard it here
I'm
first.
psychic. I'm psychic. I'm sorry. I can't control it.
Okay. I know this might also be a hot take because I know this person isn't the strongest physically, but for my winner pick, I am gonna say Caleb. I think that I think he does have the chops to do what's needed to put himself in a winning position. And I mean, it's going to be a hard road for him to get all that happening, but I believe he can do it and I believe he has the drive to do it. So I'm taking a risk and saying Caleb for that. But for my first boot, um I don't want to say a rookie because that's so easy, but I have a feeling it's gonna be one of the rookies, and I'm gonna just say Logan maybe.
You're not part of the Low Gang, Maverick Gang.
No.
All right. Well, for my winner pick, there's a few people I want to go with here, but I don't. It might be a layup, but I just don't think anyone's gonna stop the game bot. I think it's gonna be Josh. As easy as that is to say, you're gasping. Yeah,
Boo.
I'm gagging, but like the game bot's gonna prevail, and because I genuinely have no idea, I spun a wheel for my first boot because I have
wheel?
it. Yeah, no one fucking knows who's gonna be first boot. It's always random as hell. So
I knew last time.
Eliminations are random too.
yeah, and we never really know what to expect because I feel like we've always had like pretty shocking first boots. for the
Now I
most
saw
part.
Patrick going home.
I'm sure you did.
A mile away.
Anyways, this is what the wheel picked. It picked a AJG.
Oh wow.
So you know.
Rickson. Okay.
Not
So I'm
Team
saying-
AJ.
One of the AJs are gonna have to go, according to the wheel. So what can I say?
Hmm.
It's never led me astray.
So my winner pick, I'm going to. I feel like there's strong rookies here too, so I'm gonna have to go with Adore. Like Adore is a gamer.
That's a good pick.
True.
So
True.
Adore makes pretty solid connections as well, like pretty much based off like other long terms I've played with them and actually winning a long term with them when nobody thought we were winning. But um yeah, I really think Adore is gonna actually like once they realize what the format is, I feel like Adore is gonna do really good in this game. So I'm rooting for Adore. Um For first pick, I feel like it's going to be an absolute blindside with the wheel. So I feel like based off connection wise and threat levels, I think Alex will be first boot.
Oh, oh wow.
I'm just kidding.
I'm shocked by that, actually.
I love you, Alex. I'm so sorry, but I feel like the wheel always screws somebody over, looks at me. But
Looks at Trent.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Anyways.
true.
It's no shade. It's no shade at all.
Brody's not here to make his predictions, but we'll probably add that in the description of the video.
Knowing Brody, it's going to be like Josh or Sharpie getting first boot.
What? No, I think that's more of his winner prediction, if anything.
He doesn't want another champ to win.
Maybe. We'll ask him. We'll add him, and I will put that in the description below, if anyone is curious.
All right, y'all. Well, this has been a long ass podcast. If you're not watching it on 2 times speed, then you've probably wasted your life.
Well,
But
let's be real. You're just gonna listen to your part of the podcast. So.
right, if you
Or
got it
people
this
you like.
if you got it this far, message Ethan and ask him for $10, and he just might give it to you.
I don't know about that actually. Maybe.
It's only like
Yeah,
200.
he just might potentially.
Everybody
It's only
just
250
yeah.
max. No, I'm just kidding.
Only max. Yeah.
But yeah, good luck, everyone. To all the viewers and anyone that's playing this season, thank you for supporting us. And hopefully this is a great season. If it's not, then, well,
Not our
At least
fault.
it's a great cast.
blame Josh for playing instead of being on production.
Hey, they
But-
got a podcast. They won already. So.
Yeah, exactly. But, alright, guys. Everyone say bye on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.